Hey gamers, welcome back to the channel. Today in DC Dark Legion, we're going to go over the May tier list update. I'm excited to share this with you because not only have some things changed a little bit in the tier list, we've also incorporated some feedback from all of you that I'm excited to share. So let's get into it. All right, and welcome back. Before we get into this, I just want to take a second and just say thank you. You all have been absolutely amazing. The likes, the subscribes, the shares, the conversation in Discord and in the comment section of my videos, on streams, all that stuff. You guys have been absolutely amazing, so I truly appreciate all the support. I appreciate the feedback you all give. That's one thing I'm super excited about because in this tier list, you've all provided some feedback and we're going to incorporate some of that. People wanted to see a D tier list, a D section of the tier list, which we now have. Also, people suggested some additional graphics that we can add, star levels and stuff like that, which we've done as well. So without dragging this on, let's go take a look at the tier list and go through it. All right, and here we go. So another great job by Cope. He does a fantastic job. He's creating all of the graphics for my videos. Now, you can get all of these from my Discord. If you go over there, there's a infographics section, not just for this, but for other infographics that he's made. You can see my awesome spreadsheet over there as well as far as gearing. I do owe you all an update on that. That'll be done shortly. I'm not going to hide the tier list this time, hiding the different tiers. This is the May tier list. You can see who has moved up, who's moved down. We're going to walk through this. A few things I want to call out. Number one, some people were curious why I don't have a D tier. I didn't feel at the time there was enough separation between characters to add a D tier, but as we continue to add more characters to the game, it became a relevant section to add. I don't have an S plus yet, but I think we're getting close to adding an S plus. So we have the new D tier. You can see who's moved up and who's moved down. S tier remains the same. I did move Constantine up in the S tier. I was trying to avoid a knee-jerk reaction, and I wanted a little bit more, what's that word? When I've been very biased towards Constantine. You all know I love the JLD team. Constantine's my favorite. So I was kind of holding him down a little bit. I wanted more experience with him, but I couldn't hold him back anymore. He's definitely an S-tier hero, in my opinion. He does amazing damage. Yes, he does better with the JLD team. Even without the JLD team, yes, he does better with Zatanna, but he does fantastic damage even without him. You can put him in a very plug-and-play team, and he does very well. He still out-damages Sinestro. He still out-damages Joker. He is the highest damage dealer in the game that I've seen so far. Granted, I don't have my Deathstroke up very high. Another thing that I added, there was some feedback as far as star levels. What are the star levels of the heroes? Or can you put the star level where these heroes become the most relevant? I do want to add that. I did not add this time around. That may be in next month's tier list. What I did add, though, is I wanted to share with you because I want to be completely transparent with this, right? Tier lists are very subjective. It's based on the experience of the individual who's doing the testing, right? That it means that it's also based on the limitations, the ranking, the levels, everything like that, right? So what I'm going to start doing is you're going to see these are the star levels that I have the heroes at the time that they were ranked. So at a 5 white star, I still rank Superman at an S. I still rank Joker at an S. I've got Green Arrow at 1 red star. I still have him at an A+. So I want you to see where I have the star levels at as I rank them. And then what we'll see is over time, is that going to make a big difference as we move these characters up and down? So I thought that was a pretty cool suggestion. So we went ahead and did that. All right, so Superman, Joker, these have not changed. Just moved Constantine up 1. I still have him at 2 purple stars. Does fantastic. You've seen me in my streams and on my videos and all that stuff. He does amazing. I share damage. If you go to my Discord and you look at the combat cycle section, you can see kind of, let's see, the best damage I've done with him is over 80 million damage on Murder Machine. So you can go ahead and check that out as well. A+. The only difference here in A+, everybody else is staying here. They are fantastic. I am seeing Zatanna doing more and more damage. She's doing now over 2 million damage. I've got Raven. I almost might move her up to A+. as well, but she is doing more damage now. The more force I invest in them, the better and better they get. And it's not just a damage thing, it's how well they support their teams, right? So for the damage dealers, yes, it's about the amount of damage that they do. You take a look at AoE damage dealers versus single target damage dealers. When it comes to support, how well do they support their team? Healing, crowd control, things like that. Guardians and warriors, how well do they keep the enemy away from the back row, right? So A plus the same. I did move Deathstroke up. There was a lot of feedback about Deathstroke. He's not A tier. He's not B tier. He really should be much better. I have been a little unfair to him because of the amount of investment that's required to make him good. You really do want to get him up to 5 blue stars. Into the purple is when you really start seeing a huge difference with him. But just because I don't have him at that point doesn't mean he's not a fantastic character. He is. He's not a free-to-play or low-spender character. If you're going to heavily invest in him, if you're a spender, then definitely do it. If you're a free-to-play and low-spender, if you heavily invest in him, it's going to hurt you in all the other banners. So just kind of a heads up there. I do believe he deserves to be resin a tier, so he's at an A+ right now. When we take a look at A pretty much has stayed the same. Hawkgirl. Hawkgirl came out. She is a warrior. I truly believe, and I've said this before when I put her video out as well, I truly believe she should be a guardian. She does very well as a guardian. She brings everybody together, does some nice AoE damage. She soaks up quite a bit of damage as well. She does very good. But as a warrior, she really should be doing more damage than she is. I've got support characters. I've got Ivy. I've got Mara doing more damage than Hawkgirl. So right now I'm keeping her at A. She's the newest character to the tier list. Everybody else remains the same. When we take a look at B tier, well, except for one character, I did move Adam down. The reason why I moved Adam down, people are using him in endgame for the higher level Realm of Fates and things like that. I've noticed his 2-second stun is absolutely awesome. I just think I probably gave him a little too much credit and moved him from C tier to A tier. I think he's a solid B. He does work very well in Training Simulator. I think that's probably where he shines the best. Training Simulator, Realm of Fate type stuff, right? He's a very niche character with his kit. Everybody else, I know people want to see Aquaman move up a little bit. Maybe we'll see him move up a little bit as we get him stronger. Let's see. I don't think there's any other real call outs here. Our C tier. So C tier from the last list to this list is comprised both C and D. I moved Canary, Deadshot, and Captain Cold. I moved them from C down to D. Everybody else, I think, is pretty solid. I know people want to see Bane go up a little bit. One thing I'll call out about Bane, once you get him to 5 white stars, he does have an ability that protects your team from movement effects. So if you're going into PvP and you're going up against an Aquaman, you could put Bane in there to protect your team for a certain period of time if you've got him at least at 5 white stars, so that movement effect doesn't take effect. So there's some uses with Bane. We'll see how he continues to improve over time with more stars. Stargirl, I want to talk about Stargirl a little bit. She is very good with the Drowned. I mentioned this on my stream earlier today. You can get her at 4 white stars and she works well. The 5th, every character, they get better with stars. But with Stargirl, you may get to a point where she no longer has as much benefit for you and your team, even with the Drowned, because maybe you got other characters that are built much higher and you're going to get that damage up there without her help. So just this last, I can't remember the combat boss it was on Drowned. It was on Drowned. It was last week's Drowned. I had her in there. I did the most amount of damage I could do. Then I pulled her out and put another damage dealer in there. And then I did more damage. So just do some testing there. Is she going to help you or is she not? She is great for Drowned, but there's a point at which you just don't need her because you're going to do enough damage and you're going to do more damage without her. So just something to keep in mind there. That's why she's still C. Because, again, super niche. There's just one area that she's good at, and that's reducing the debuffs, even up against Joker and such. But she's not one that you're going to heavily invest in, so she continues to stay in C. Croc and Catwoman still at the bottom with Vixen and Penguin. Penguin we actually took into the Darkest Timeline earlier today on stream as well, and he actually did better than Two-Face on the boss. So I might do some additional testing on him, invest in them just a little bit more, and see if there's any change that comes from that. But that is it. That's the May tier list. Not a whole lot of movement, but there is some movement. We got the new D tier. We dropped a couple characters down, moved a couple characters up, and added one. Nightwing is not out yet, but he'll be out here in a couple days. So keep an eye out on my Is He Worth It video. Super excited for him to be released in the game finally. But hey, there you go, everybody. That is the May tier list. Very curious. What do you think? What do you think about the changes? What do you think about my rationale? Any thoughts? Put them in the comment section below. And definitely let me know what other types of things you would like to see incorporated into the tier list. I hope the stars and everything help kind of put some things into perspective. I hope the D's tier helps as well, kind of give a little bit more separation. And do you think it's time for an S+ tier? All right, everybody, that's what I had for you. As always, I want to thank you all for taking the time to watch the video. If you liked it, make sure to hit that like button and share your thoughts and questions in the comment section below. Take care, everybody, and we'll talk to you next time.